audience.
Going off to university is one of the most memorable and rewarding times in one's life. Typically, people look back on these years and reminisce on the good times. Unfortunately, for some, college can be a traumatic time for them in which events transpire which change their lives forever. I am speaking about sexual assault on college campuses. In the last few years, a law which allows colleges to try sexual assault cases on campuses has fallen into controversy. And today we will be discussing the two competing views on how colleges are dealing with sexual assault as it relates to Title IX. For this speech, I have gathered my sources from the Northwest Florida State College databases. Today, I will first discuss what Title IX is and what has changed within the last few years that have caused this controversy. Then I will discuss the viewpoint of those who view the current procedure on many campuses as an affront to due process. Lastly, I will survey the view of those who view Title IX as a success and a protection against sexual assault on college campuses. Title IX was created in 1972 as an addition to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. The main purpose of the original document was to prohibit sexual discrimination on college campuses as it relates to athletics and hiring. Up until recently, Title IX has been fairly uncontroversial and quite honestly a success. However, this all changed in 2011 when the Obama administration added how colleges should deal with sexual assault cases to Title IX, and this is where the controversy has arisen from. The 2011 Obama directive detailed, according to Education Week, the 2011 Obama directive detailed how under Title IX's provision about sexual harassment, schools and higher education institutions should work to respond to acts of sexual violence, both those that occur on campus and those that happen off campus, but affect the school environment. Schools have an independent responsibility under the Title IX to investigate complaints of harassment and assault apart from the separate criminal justice systems led by law enforcement. The guidance said, and they could take action if a preponderance of evidence showed that a violation occurred, which is a lower standard that is used in criminal matters. To begin with, the critics of the Obama administration's additions to Title IX decry it as an attack to due process. After the election of Donald Trump and the confirmation of the newest Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, Title IX immediately began to be scrutinized by the Department of Education. According to the September 8, 2017 issue of USA Today, educators, she said, that is Betsy DeVos, complained that the current system amounts in many cases to kangaroo courts, in which the rights of the accused are given short shrift unless they can afford to hire legal representation to pursue complaints. She later said, no student should be forced to sue their way into due process. As already stated, the greatest issue people have raised with the Title IX guidelines is the lack of due process and the issue over whether or not it should be innocent until proven guilty and without a reasonable doubt, not just a preponderance of evidence. One of the offered solutions to handling sexual assault cases on campuses is to just let the local authorities handle campus sexual assault cases in the same way that they would handle any other sexual assault case that happens in the community. As stated in the CQ Researcher, the point is raised that universities have been taking policies and procedures that were meant to respond to plagiarism and trying to adapt them to a serious felony, says David Lissack, a clinical psychologist and forensic consultant to defense attorneys, prosecutors, and law enforcement. But the complexities are enormous. It takes extensive training and experience to understand a victim's behavior and statements, how to conduct sensitive interviews, and search for evidence, says Lissack, who also trains sex crime detectives and U.S. military investigators. Proponents of the Title IX have come out in strong defense of the measure the Obama administration took against sexual assaults on campus and have become highly critical of DeVos in her attempts to eliminate the Obama-era guidances. Furthermore, those who agree with the Title IX admit that the standards colleges use to discern sexual assault allegations are more favorable to the victim than in standard criminal justice proceedings, as stated in the August 24th, 2017 issue of the Washington Post. Meanwhile, advocates are pressing for reforms that would require survivors to prove a sexual assault occurred under the beyond a reasonable doubt standard used in criminal prosecutions, which would make it near impossible for schools to address the complaints of sexual assault survivors. Clearly, they view the standard proceedings of the criminal justice system to be cumbersome and in favor of those who commit sexual assaults against their victims. Moreover, those who are in favor of Title IX as it stands are also adamantly against turning investigations over to the criminal justice system. Nancy Che Cantalupa, Esquire, wrote in the CQ Researcher in 2014 that requiring campuses to rely exclusively on the criminal justice system to address gender-based violence undermines our commitment to equality and our effectiveness in ending the violence. They view this as a means of protecting the accused because too much emphasis is put on the innocents until proven guilty. In closing, it has been a privilege to be able to discuss this important issue with you all today, and that continues to divide people on how they view the response of colleges to sexual assault cases. To review, the controversy over colleges and their handling of Title IX has to do with what people view as a fair trial. There are those who say not using the full due process that is normally given to those in a criminal justice trial is unfair and unjust to the accused and invites false accusations. Then on the other side of the spectrum, there are those who champion Title IX reforms as a major triumph and say that if the slow process of the criminal justice system was used at colleges, it would be unfair to the accusers. Today, I hope I have given you all the basic information you need to formulate your opinion on the subject, and perhaps next time you hear a discussion on this issue, you will be at least a little more informed on the matter. Thank you all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And they're all still here.